Continuing our mock draft series in the NFC South with the New Orleans Saints, Max Chadwick alongside Dalton and Wasserman here. New Orleans currently picking number 10 overall with a 5-11 record heading into the final week of the regular season. We'll, of course, be doing this on the PFF Mock Draft Simulator, which you could find at PFF.com. You could draft for the Saints, your favorite team, or all 32 NFL teams. A full 7 rounds is available to you as well in the PFF Mock Draft Simulator. You can trade picks, you can trade players, you can do everything in the PFF Mock Draft Simulator. We're only doing 3 rounds in this mock draft. So let's pull it up right now with the New Orleans Saints. Not going to do any trades in this one either, but like I said, you can if you want to. We'll start the draft here at number 10 overall and see who's available for us here at Dalton. All right. One thought I had here was you look at New Orleans and how bad the D-line is and how bad they are in run defense. Nick Scorton jumps out immediately to me. Luther Burden III, I think, would help out the receiving core too as an after-the-catch guy. But I kind of like Nick Scorton, though, just because of how bad the run defense has been this year.
It's a good argument. I mean, the question is whether they're going to keep Clint Kubiak as their offensive coordinator in this new scheme, or I should say in this new regime after firing Dennis Allen, because the Saints struggle creating yards after the catch, and for a while I've kind of tagged Luther Burden as that'd be a really good fit in New Orleans. A guy, you have Chris Olave as kind of possession guy on the other side, Luther Burden as a yards after catch guy. When he's healthy, Rashid Shaheed is a deep threat. I think Burden could make their offense really dangerous, but it is a major problem, especially in run defense. I think you make a great point about Scorton, and we'll see, how much further he develops as a pass rusher. But no matter where he's been, whether it's at Purdue or Texas A&M, he's been a fantastic run defender. Yeah. He's super strong. I think there are times where he does remind me a bit of Jared Verse, who this year I think is on his way to winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, if he's that level of talent, it's hard to ignore because this Saints front seven has struggled really for 2 seasons straight. They have problems in the trenches on both sides of the ball, and they just cannot stop the run right now. I could reason with either, and I totally get your point about Scorton here.
Yeah, they're the second worst run defense grade in the NFL, only ahead of their division rival in the Panthers right now. So that's what made me think Scorton immediately because of how good he is as a run defender and how badly they need run defense. But I'm with you. Luther Burden III would present a different element to that receiving core they don't have right now.
And if you think about the division they play in, right, you got Bijan and the Falcons, right? You got Bucky Irving and the Bucs and what they're doing up front. And even the Panthers, they get down and run the football. Their offensive line's not bad. And when Chuba Hubbard's healthy, he's really good too. And they just gave him an extension.
And hopefully Jonathan Brooks can get healthy too.
And Jonathan Brooks. I mean, you got to deal with 3 teams that really want to run the ball. If you can't stop the run in this division, you're going to have a serious problem. I think the 2 teams you just mentioned, the Saints and the Panthers, are seeing that this year. We can't stop the run. We're losing games before they even start, basically, because we can't stop the run, and that would make a lot of sense for me with Scorton, just raising the floor on this defense, because you can't walk out every week in the NFL and just get run over and have the game be done by halftime.
All right, you want to do Nick Scorton then?
I'm in on that. I could reason with that.
We'll take Nick Scorton here. The number 10 player on the big board goes number 10 overall to the New Orleans Saints. Go over to the next pick here, number 42 overall in the NFL draft. Man, maybe Burden might have been a good call. We got Landon Jackson on the board right there. That would have been a really good run defender to get.
Jack Sawyer too. I think, and I think there's a debate here, even though, you could get another defensive lineman. I think they're another team that needs multiple. Cam Jordan's getting a little older. I don't know how long he's going to be around. I think if there was any linebackers on the board, I would think about maybe somebody like a Jahad Campbell. I don't see him on the board here for us. But I think there's still multiple options, whether it's defense. I'm looking at a couple guys we saw in the secondary right there, too. I think Darian Porter could help them a lot. They traded Marshawn Lattimore. They've got Alontae Taylor playing on the outside. Kool-Aid McKinstry they drafted in the second round last year for one corner spot. He hasn't played a whole lot, and he's kind of struggled when he's been in. So we could go with the secondary here at corner. Even I saw Xavier Watts from Notre Dame there at safety, and maybe depending on what kind of defense you're going to run, but he's a ball hawk back there. And I know Tyrann Mathieu is still really good, and he's still moving all around the formation, but I think you could double up on the D-line and go with that again, or you could think about, Jordan Howden hasn't played bad. You go safety, you could go corner, or we could look at a weapon, like we did the first time around and go, okay, is there somebody at receiver that we might like here? I think there's a lot of options.
I didn't see anyone jump out to me at wide receiver immediately. I do like the corner or safety call because I do think they need help in that secondary right now. So I would like a Darian Porter. I'd like a Xavier Watts here. I think either of them would be good fits here. I don't know if there's anyone that fits obviously you don't know what defense is going to run yet.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I might have, if I knew it was still Dennis Allen, I might have actually leaned away from Porter because Allen likes man coverage, and I might even said Xavier Watts and give him that single high cover one look like we keep saying from Notre Dame. But I think Porter could be a good option. You know what? You take a talented guy. We don't know what their coaching staff, especially on defense, looks like yet. I think to add another corner into that room to get some more open competition. And if Porter works out and McKinstry works out on the outside, we can move Alontae Taylor back into the slot and get things kind of to where they were when they still had Marshawn Lattimore.
All right, let's do it. Darian Porter, the cornerback from Iowa State, going to New Orleans there at number 42 overall. Got 2 more picks here in the 3rd round now at number 74 overall in the draft.
Some good players here.
Really good players. Deion Walker jumps out immediately to me.
I'm going to be honest, though. This might be a spot, and I know Alvin Kamara carries a serious load. Cam Skattebo sitting at the top there. Just as a mix-up, I don't think they've gotten really what they wanted to. I should say, out of Kendre Miller so far, and they've kind of behind Kamara. There really isn't much depth. I would say honestly, their second best runner is Taysom Hill. I would really think you're looking at their running back depth right now. Kendre Miller, who has 39 carries this season, Jamal Williams, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's got 5 carries this year. I would think about Skattebo. Because that's kind of a change up from Alvin Kamara, and he could still catch the ball. We've seen him catch the ball. He could take it on screens. I would think about it because Kamara is getting older and he's still really good. Yeah. And they got him on a 2-year extension in part because they're messing with the cap. But I would think about this as a talent play. We've seen what he's done down the stretch here. Now he's a household name with everything he's done and what he just did in the Peach Bowl. I would not hate it to add a second back into this offense. I think actually it harkens back to Kamara early in his career when it was him and Mark Ingram kind of going 50-50-ish and Kamara taking some of the passing work and maybe take some off his legs a little bit because there's too many times where the Saints offense, it's just him. And that's it. Let's get another guy in here who can break tackles. Are we in on this? You think they'd like Cam down in New Orleans?
I like it. The only problem is I love Deion Walker, and getting him here at 74 would be so good, and their D tackles are rough, man. I mean, they have Kalen Saunders, Brian Brzee not lived up to the hype yet, coming out as a first-round pick. John Ridgeway, Nathan Shepard, their D-tackle situation is rough right now. And I still like Deion Walker a lot. I think he's a top 40 player probably for me in this draft.
That would be a question for me is if this is actually a realistic scenario.
That's true.
Right, where I don't know where he's at on consensus right now, but and I know Walker hasn't had quite as flashy a year as he did last year, and we've talked about it before. He's going to be a guy who blows up at the combine.
Yeah, he's 42 on the consensus board right now. So
it's tough to think he would get this far. Where we're at 74,
yeah.
I don't, especially with the combine he's going to have. I get it absolutely. If for some reason he was here,
yeah.
I get it. He's super talented. I think there's moments as a pass rusher where I'm like, oh, that's Chris Jones.
Yeah.
And Chris Jones dropped to the 2nd round, remember now. So we never know how these things go and then who passes on what. But all right,
for realism's sake, you want to do Cam Skattebo then?
I could be in on
Make it as realistic as possible. All right, let's do it.
Let's get trendy.
No Saints fan can hate a Cam Skattebo pick either.
I don't think anybody could.
Nobody
How
can.
could you? You said it yourself. Any roster needs a guy like that.
Yeah.
I just look at them and I go, let's take, for as good as he still is, just take a little bit off Kamara's plate,
yep.
Right? And then maybe in a 50-50 kind of role, and we know Scat's going to run hard. I mean, man, oh man, he's going to be a problem, especially late in games.
All right, I kind of want to go Tate Ratledge here. Top guy on the board, fits a need for New Orleans. I think that'd be a really, really good pick for the Saints here at 90.
I could see that. The only other spot, it's probably, I don't see any guys at the top. Can we look at linebackers real quick? It's the only other one I kind of like. Demario Davis is getting at least starting to slow down a little. Lawson's hurt. Kaiser we could get later. I do like Kobe King.
Seems a little early for Kobe King, though.
If I got a Kobe King in the 4th round, I wouldn't hate that.
Right.
I really like Kobe King in the run game especially. No, I think I'm with you. Tate Ratledge probably works. Let's get some interior protection going.
Yeah, they just...
Fuaga's getting better in pass protection as the year goes on. You get Eric McCoy back healthy. I could see that. Just a safe potential starter, pass protector on
really
the inside.
Good pass blocker, yeah.
A terrific pass blocker. I think as a safe bet to raise the floor on the offensive line, too, that's a theme. You got to get better in the trenches if you're the Saints and you want to compete. So
all right.
I could be in on that.
Let's round it out with Georgia offensive guard Tate Ratledge in this mock draft for the Saints. Just to recap, for the Saints, we got Nick Scorton in the 1st round, Darian Porter in the 2nd round, the corner from Iowa State, Cam Skattebo, the running back from Arizona State in the 3rd round, Tate Ratledge, the guard from Georgia, also in the 3rd round. Remind you guys, you can do all of this using the PFF Mock Draft Simulator available at PFF.com. For Dalton Wasserman, I'm Max Chadwick. We have more mock drafts coming, staying in the NFC South very soon, so stay tuned.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe the video. And if you don't have a PFF Plus subscription, you can get one to see all the premium stats that we talked about here on the show, plus the expert betting and fantasy advice over at subscribe.pff.com. The description is also right below, so if you are not a PFF Plus subscriber, you can become one today.